Hi you guys, it's your girl Tanya once again, and I am back with another video. So today's video is about concealers. Okay, so I have pretty much tried so many concealers that work for dark circles, that work for under eye lines and wrinkles. So I thought I would put together a video of most of the concealers that I have in my collection. Some of them that work really well, some of them that don't work at all, and I have a ton of them. So this is going to help you, figure out which concealers work good for us girls over 40, for us girls that have dark circles, for us that have us that have, fine lines and wrinkles under our eyes. This is going to help you so that you don't have to spend the coin on all of these concealers like I did to try to find the perfect ones that work. So if you guys are interested in seeing little mini reviews, go get you a snack, get you a drink, sit down, because it might take a little while. But we'll get through it. We will digress, okay? So go get you a snack, get you a, get you a nice blanket, sit down, and watch this video, okay? Okay. So, before we get into it, if you guys have not already subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. It would help me out a lot. And hit the like button. Leave me comments. I read all my comments and I answer every single one of them. So, leave me comments. Give me something to do. Help me to help you. Alright, so let's just go ahead and jump right in. So I'm gonna kind of do drugstore ones first and kind of work my way into the higher end products. So the first one that I'm gonna be talking about is the LA Girl Pro Conceal Concealer. I do like this concealer. I do feel like it's super full coverage. It's gonna cover those dark circles. It's going to set matte. You will have to set it with the powder, especially if you have fine lines, because it's going to creep into them. The only thing that I don't really like about using this underneath my eyes is that it's just a little bit of a thicker consistency, and I find that when I use products with thicker consistencies, they tend to really just get into those fine lines and wrinkles. So coverage wise, this guy is on point, and I think you can get these guys for like $3. They're not even that expensive. So coverage wise, yes. I just feel like it creeps into my fine lines really easily because of the thick consistency on that guy. So the next one is going to be the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind, and as you can see, this guy has got plenty of use from me. This is definitely one of my favorite concealers because it covers it's a little bit of a thick consistency, but not as thick as this guy, but the consistency on it is pretty awesome. It is creamy enough where it's not too runny but not too thick. It's really hard to describe, but the coverage on it is amazing, and for I think $7, you really can't beat that. Like I said, it's been used. I was so happy when they came out with the deeper shades for this concealer, because this concealer is amazing. The only thing I would have to say that I don't like is the top. It is a mess, and it gets very messy, as you can see how the top is. But other than that, that's all I can say negative about that guy. That guy works. And like I said, it's at the price point of a $7, somewhere in that range. My next favorite drugstore one would have to be the ColourPop No Filter Concealer. I'm out of this sucker, and I'm about to order me like 2 more, because this is the almost perfect, like I grabbed for this one more than my high-end ones, hands down. Like the color on it, the coverage, the way it settles into my skin, it doesn't creep into my fine lines. It's just a beautiful radiance concealer, and it just looks like, honestly, like you have a filter underneath your eyes. It looks so amazing, and like I said, they have like 60 shades in that guy. So if you can't find a shade in this, something is not right with you. Or maybe, I might be lying. It might not be 60. I think it's like 40. But spend the $6 on this. It's $6. It's amazing. Hands down, love it. Next one we're going to talk about is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define. It's supposed to be similar to the Tarte Shape Tape. Consistency wise, I feel like it is. The Doe Foot Fat Applicator, I feel like it is. Color wise even, the colors are pretty similar. So those things are similar. That's where it stops. The Shape Tape, I feel like is something that you have to blend out pretty quickly, because if it dries, it'll dry like how it's set right there, you know, underneath the eye. I do like the kind of orangey tone that both of these have, but with this guy, I find that it just makes my under eyes look dry as hell. So coverage wise, I feel like it covers pretty decently. But I don't feel like it lasts for a complete day like the Shape Tape does. Like, I could wear this to work, and by the end of the day, I'm definitely seeing gray shadows underneath my eyes. So this is definitely something that I would not recommend. Price point is $9, I believe, which isn't bad, or it might be $6. You know what? I'm gonna link all the prices and links to these products in the description box below, because I'm not quite sure. I believe this might be $6 or $9, or it might be $7. Who knows? I don't know. But this guy here is not my favorite, because like I said, it makes me look really old underneath the eyes when it starts looking dry and crepey. It just looks a mess. And even when I set it, that's when I really see like all the texture underneath my eyes. This, I don't even use it. Honestly, the only reason why I think I'm keeping it is maybe to use up underneath my brows. But that's all I can, or maybe spot conceal. We'll see how it does with that. I've never used it to spot conceal, so I'm not sure how it works on that level, but as far as going underneath the eyes, it's a no-go for your girl. So the next one I have is the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. They did come out with some more colors in this guy, so I am excited about that, but I was such a fan of this. I really like this. When I was using drugstore concealers, I feel like the consistency, it's a little bit lightweight, but it's buildable. And it's not buildable where it's gonna look cakey underneath the eye or anything like that. It looks pretty decent, and it's very radiant. I like it. I'm not a fan of this small doe foot applicator. I've kind of gotten spoiled with the bigger applicators. I do like those, but I do like this concealer if you're just in the drugstore and you're needing something, or you're out of town, you just want to grab something and there's no Sephora or Ulta around and you can go to the drugstore. This is a good little $5 buy. I mean, it works. It definitely works, and it works pretty damn good. Okay, so that is all that I have for the drugstore side. So on the higher end side, I am going to just go in and start with this Tarte Shape Tape. Hands down, one of my favorite concealers. I do wish that they would have more shades in this concealer, because this one is a little bit too red for me. But I like it because it is red, and well, orange, and it kind of cancels out those dark circles. I typically mix this with something that's a little bit more yellow, golden, and it comes out beautifully. This is what I'm wearing today, as a matter of fact. I feel like the coverage on this guy is beautiful. You do have to blend it out fairly fast. I wouldn't let it sit underneath my eyes and settle in for a minute. I wouldn't do that with this concealer. But overall, this concealer, I have nothing negative to say about it except for the color. That's the only thing that I would have to say about it. This goes for a price point of $26. So not bad for a high end, but you know, hey, what do you do? So the next one is going to be the Makeup Forever Full Coverage Concealer, and that is this guy here. This is perfect for spot concealing. It's perfect for doing underneath your eyebrows. This is definitely not something that you would want to use underneath your eye. if you have dry eyes. This like literally sucks the life out of you. It will, when you put it on, it automatically dries matte, and it just, I mean, anything that you have on your face that you don't want anybody to see, especially underneath these eyes, it's gonna cover the dark circles. It's gonna do that, but it's also gonna put so much texture underneath your eye. It's gonna make you look about 40 years older than what you are. And okay, if we're already over 40, like, can we stand to do anything that's gonna make us look 40 more years older? I'd say not. So yeah, this guy will cover. It's definitely full coverage, hands down. But for underneath the eye, it's very drying for underneath the eye. I definitely wouldn't recommend it for that. So the next one is going to be the NARS Creamy Radiant. And this one is, I love this. I love this concealer. They also came out with newer shades. So I have the shade Amande. I think now I could probably go down to Caramel. I think that one would be my shade, because this one is more like skin tone color, so it's not really giving me that highlight that I like. So I think I can go to Caramel now that they've come up with more shades. I just haven't repurchased yet because I still have this one. I like the way it looks underneath the eyes. It doesn't make me look dry underneath the eyes. It definitely gives it a creamy, radiant look. It is a little bit more on the medium side, but it is buildable. So it says that it's full coverage, but I feel like I have to really go in if I'm doing full coverage with this guy. But I love it. I'm not even gonna say don't even waste your coin, because it's get this, get it. It's $29, okay? Next one is going to be the Cover FX Power Play Concealer. I did a whole video on this, so I'm not even going to really touch on it too much. I do like it. I like the applicator. It's a little different. It's not a doe foot. It's kind of got a ball on the end. I like it because you can just pop, pop, pop. I also mix this with the Shape Tape because it's a little bit more on the golden side. So it works, and it gives a little bit of added extra coverage, which I like. This guy by itself, though, is pretty amazing. It does have a full coverage. It's gonna look really beautiful underneath the eye. Like, it doesn't even make me look dry. I don't care if I really go in. It's not going to creep into my fine lines. It's not going to, you know, enhance those wrinkles underneath those eyes. It's not going to do that at all. So this is definitely a go-getter. This guy is $29 or $30. This guy is, but it's got the same amount of product as the Tarte Shape Tape, which I thought was kind of weird because it's shorter, but yeah, it's same 10 mil of the product. So yeah, you can't beat that. Next one I'm going to go into is the MAC Studio Fix 24-hour concealer. I got the shade NC45 in this guy. And I feel like the shades got lighter. They're way lighter. So I want to kind of maybe go up to NC50 if they have that. Because I feel like this one's just a little bit too light. I definitely would use it for highlighting. But for coverage, I think it's a little too light for me. So it kind of, when I feel like concealers are too light or too yellow, they will make my under eye area look super gray. And I don't want my under eye looking gray. I just don't. So I use this along with the Shape Tape to kind of highlight a little bit. So, but I do like it. I do feel like it lasts for the whole 24 hours. I have wore it once by itself, hence how I know that it's too light for under my eyes. But I have wore it one day, all day when I was at home. It does last all day. It works really good. I do think that the coverage is a little bit on the liquidy side, but it's buildable. You can build it up to a full coverage. I feel like it's more medium coverage than anything. So yeah, but I still like it. So, and this guy is a price point of $23, or yeah, $23. So yeah. Okay, so the next one that I have is the Beauty Bakery Cake Face Concealer. And I am in the shade You're Beautiful. The shade range on these concealers are not as inclusive as their foundation. I think they have like 7 shades for the concealers. I got this shade and I thought it's a little bit on the neutral side, so I'm like, that's not gonna really work for me. But honestly, this stuff works really good. I don't use it as much, and the reason being is the consistency of this is a little different. It's a little hard to work with, and I don't have a lot of time to work when I'm doing makeup. Like, I want to put something on, go, and get out of here. This guy is just like the foundation that they have out, which is you have to blend this really quick. You put it on and you blend it out. There's no letting it sit. Now, the consistency has like a tacky consistency of this, so, but it dries down. Like, it's a little difficult to work with. It was $29 as well, and it just, I don't know, I don't really like the consistency. Like, even when you powder it down, it still feels like tackiness. And and when I try to use it as a concealer on top of my eyes, because sometimes I use that as my eyeshadow primer, it just really wasn't working right. Like, the shadows came on patchy, and I know these shadows aren't patchy because I've used them like on more than one occasion, but this is a difficult little guy to work with. But I do like how it looks once it's on. It looks flawless. Like, literally, it kind of sets itself almost. And it doesn't really creep into fine lines, but I did find that I did see a little bit of texture when I wore it. So I have to play with that one a little bit more. I won't say not to spend your coin, but let me try it a little bit more and play. Alright, so the next one is going to be the Kat Von D Lock-It Concealer. This concealer does everything that I want it to do. Not even gonna lie. Every single thing that I needed to do, this concealer does it. I like the consistency. It's not too thick. It's not too thin. It's kind of like in the middle. It is full coverage, so it covers up all of my dark circles. I like the color. The color is perfect. Like, it's just, it has that right amount of orange, and it has that right amount of yellow, so it does the brightening and the concealing and the you know, correcting as well. The price point on this guy is $23. I don't even know what else to say about this guy. This is hands down my most favorite concealer out of all the concealers that I showed you today. This one is probably my most favorite because it does absolutely everything that it's supposed to. And it doesn't look crepey underneath the eye. It sets beautifully. It is just a really good concealer. I really haven't stopped using it. I still consistently use it, but I try to kind of branch out and see other products as well. So I just have sat it down and put it down for a minute while I'm trying out other concealers, you know. So yeah, but hands down that this is probably my most favorite. Alright, so last but not least is the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Away Concealer. I did a whole video on this concealer, and I will link it right here. Not too long ago is when I did this video, actually. So I like this concealer. I like it. I don't love it. I don't feel like it. I like it to mix with something else. But for $32, I expected more from this concealer. It didn't give me anything that I wanted, honestly. The color was pretty. I like the consistency. I don't feel like it gave me that Spanx look. I don't feel like it gave me any type of coverage by itself. I wouldn't spend $32 on this. Especially if you have dark circles, and that was one of the claims. It had big claims for this, and it just kind of fell short. So I would not recommend that at all unless you want some light coverage, because full coverage it is not. It's not full coverage. So you know, I wouldn't say that I would spend the coin again. That would not be a product that I would repurchase at all, because it doesn't do what it says for me. But you know, if you wanted to mix it with something, like I said, the consistency is beautiful. It looks beautiful, especially in pictures. It looks really nice. But it only looked really nice because I mixed it with something else. But as far as covering my dark circles, it did not do any of that. So I definitely wouldn't recommend it. That's all I got for today, you guys. So if you guys really kind of like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Leave me some comments. I read all of the comments and I try to answer all of them. So I like to hear you guys' feedback. But in this case, this is the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. You could have went to anybody else's channel, but you came here, so I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. I will see you guys in my next one. Peace.